Yes, my dear. Thank you very much. And let me just say that I'm sorry for joining in late. There are other meetings that I have to be on.
Okay.
And so forgive me for joining in late. And I hope you can hear me clearly.
Absolutely. We can.
Okay. All right. So let me first
It's
of all
okay if
again.
we see your face for a while.
Please, can you mute yourself, please? Ah, okay. Go on.
Okay. All right. So yes, indeed. When it comes to issues of multipolarity, I think it is doable, as your topic is talking about. It's very doable. And indeed, as you indicated, recently, the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, came out with what we call performance indicators. He launched a book to say the key performance indicators are that as a country, we're making sure that our heads of missions in Ghana and elsewhere, there should be some kind of performance indicators for that. That will make sure that they are able to work as diplomats and also to make sure that they are able to um, put things in place that will promote investment, enhance trade, support diaspora and engagement with other people, and then secure scholarship and also boost tourism. These were the key areas that the president launched the book. And if we all know, he has been a president before, so he understands the issues better. So coming out with these key indicators, we believe that it's going to help to put things in proper perspective. Because when you look at Africa, we are far behind. And for me, I think I heard an earlier speaker indicating that we should have our own way of doing our own things. And I believe that because if we don't set that standard for ourselves and we want to copy, we won't get to wherever we are because China decide to do it on their own way and they are where they are. So Africans must also take the bold step to make sure that what we want, what are the things that we want to set for ourselves. So for me, these key indicators that His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana have said, I think it's in the right direction. And if all of us will go by that and work towards that, I think it will really help us and liberate Africa, for that matter, starting from Ghana, from the challenges and the difficulties that we find ourselves. Most of the time, we do not monitor progress, we do not monitor indicators, we do not evaluate them, we do not make sure that we are able to function properly as far as all the indicators are concerned. But I believe strongly that as a former president coming back to power again, he will be able to learn from mistakes that probably he must have done, and then also correct those mistakes and make sure that he's able to leave a legacy before his tenure tenure as a president expires. Okay, so my dear, I am of opinion that Africans, for that matter, Ghanaians, must have our own way of thinking. We must really look into ourselves, our culture setup. What can we do to make sure that our people can understand us better? Because we are copying, as I've been indicating, we have been copying too much. We copy the European style, we copy American style, and that is not helping us. Yesterday, I had an opportunity to be with the courtesy call that was made by the delegate from the United Kingdom, or call on the Speaker of Parliament of Ghana. And, at one of the discussions that we're having, the Speaker of Parliament indicated that Ghana have a hybrid democracy that we are practicing. We have the British type and then the American system, which is not helping us at all. But for Ghana and for that matter, Africans, what kind of democracy that will be good for us? What are we practicing? It looks like we are confused. And once we are confused, it becomes very difficult for us to really get the agenda right. So, my dear, for me, I've said that let's sit down as Africans and look at what will help us. Let's sit down as African and come up with, these key indicators. And then I believe we can do it because the African brain, it's sharp. If you give the African opportunity, he's able to excel. And once we know we can excel, I think we can do it. And I am challenging all African heads. I'm challenging all powers that be in Africa that until we realize that we can do it, we will continue to be where we find ourselves. So for me, let's continue to make sure that Africans themselves become proud of themselves. Africans themselves know what they are about. We set these priorities and we are able to make sure that we work towards to the end of it. So for me, we should not believe the argument, but rather we should make sure that we take pragmatic steps to be able to solve this issue when you talk of multipolarity. Thank you. Yeah, I think you said it right. I think we should have constitutional reviews and look into ourselves, what we can do for ourselves, okay? And that would be the way forward for us in the first day. And then let's change our mindset, our way of thinking, our way of doing things. We are African, whether you like it or not, we are Africans. And we cannot be doing things like Europeans. Of course, we are all human beings anyway. But then what can we do? Because I've indicated, like, they're copying the thing. I mean, we're copying their lifestyle and everything that they are doing. That is what we as Africans are doing. So first and foremost, like indicated, we should have a constitutional review. All African countries must have a constitutional review. And understand that our way of democracy, in fact, if you come to most of African countries, for instance, in Ghana, we have the chiefs that rules before democracy came to Africa, and for that matter in Ghana. The chiefs are able to rule our people well, and they will become good leaders. It's a matter of education. Once they're able to be educated well and understand the issues and the concept very well, we'll be able to rule and rule very well. So for me, let's ask Africans come back to the table, drawing board, and give ourselves time. Let's set up agenda. It could be the next 20 years, 30 years, or 40 years, or 50 years. We're talking about AU 2060. What are we making sure that we are able to, meet these targets? It's none. So we as Africans, at times, I feel like we do not know exactly what we are about. That is, I'm sorry to say that, but I feel like we do not know what we are about. Leadership is a problem. And once leaders get it right, all of us will be able to get it right. Citizens must change their mind. Citizens must understand that no one can build Africa for us except ourselves. Leaders must understand that they should be accountable when they are putting into high office. Leaders must understand that the people put you there for you to, support them to rule, to make sure that their needs and wants are well met for them. And those are the things we need to look at. Whether it's a party, democracy, it's whatever it is, let's look at what will suit us. Of course, I understand that, when you talk of democracy, there are pillars that you say, yes, when you are practicing this democracy. But then we as Africans, what do we want? And that's a question that we should be asking ourselves. And until we ask ourselves that question, we won't be able to get to wherever we want to get to. Thank you.